Hey everyone, how you guys doing today? Um, so I spent a bunch of time, like the last couple of hours, just thinking about what exactly I wanted to do, because I managed to connect my app. Like I was getting the webhooks and everything. Took me a little longer than expected, and then I was like, oh, cool. Now I understand the request object structure. Let me start making the data models for it. And then I was like, wait. What? No. I was like, I just wanted to like think about it, and after a while, I do intend for this to be a long running thing. It may not end up being that way, but I do intend for it to be that way. And the WhatsApp integration needs to serve like really basic purposes. We're not really trying to do anything. We're not trying to do flows or whatever, buttons and all that. I actually want to avoid like doing buttons and all that kind of stuff, primarily because it comes off as you're not chatting, that you're chatting with a bot, you know? And maybe I'll go back on that, right? Uh, but as of right now, Paiwa, like, I checked the guy out, right? He's just doing this basically for fun, I guess, and maybe some money because he does have some supporters, but it's not like backed by any major players or anything like that. Meta doesn't put out any official SDK, so I feel concern in terms of using that package for something I intend to be long running. Like, sure, if you're like a small mom and pop shop or whatever, or you're like a small company and you just want to quickly have a server that's up and running that just has everything and it's simple, that's fine. And it's probably good. But for now, I think I'm just not gonna do that just to force myself. And maybe I'll come back to this, and maybe I'll just switch back to Paiwa. But for now, I think to force myself to reckon with the schema, and do all that up will be better. And then the other thing is like, even after moving out the logging, where the hell is it? Yeah, I feel like this is just starting to get to be a bit too much to be in one file, especially because a lot of it is junk, right? It's just trash, um, that I do not need, um, uh, at all. And I feel like it's best if I just refactor that. And I think that's what I'm gonna make this video be. First things first, I'm just gonna create a empty dunder init at root. Um, we're gonna have main.py right here. We'll keep that. Gonna have a new folder. Um, is there anything here other than the formatter? Login config.yaml. Could rename this over here and make that change over here. Because I'm thinking I'll create a directory for logging. Just having one file in that seems like a bit much. I think this is what I'll do. I'll create a new directory called dependencies, and anything that's not like an endpoint will go in there. And so I'm gonna move this into dependencies right now. Move. I'll keep the logging config on root, I guess. I'm not sure about that. Create another directory here. dunter init, dunter.py, let's check if our logging is still working. Oh, it's not even running right now. Yeah, our logger is fine and dandy. So far so good. Okay. Now, what else can I strip out from main? This is gonna be a basic reformatting exercise, and then I think in the next video I'll focus on just getting the data models, like in the sense of the Pydantic models for the WhatsApp requests, the incoming requests. Understand their structure, see how they are, um, and play around with it, and see if I can understand it. Let's see. Dependencies. We'll put settings in here as well. Should I have settings in here? Let me look at this sample structure here. So they have dependencies.py and then internal. I mean, every project is unique, and then if we need to refactor the structure, we can refactor it. But I think for now, this is fine, and then someone else complains, because I think I need to really move into doing things. New file, settings.py. Let's do that. Then from main, where the hell is main? Yeah. Yeah, actually all three of these. I think that's enough. Oops. Command X, settings. From functools, import cache. From dependencies, import get. Oh boy. I'm not getting my auto-completion, which signals to me that something is wrong. I'm not really sure what. Dot. Okay. PyCache dependencies. From dependencies, import well, I mean, an easy check on this is it, well, okay, it's so not working. I don't understand. Okay, settings is here. Oh, I know what the issue is. I'm an idiot. I can do one of two things here. Let me just close all of these unnecessarily open pages. Just like a lot. from dependencies dot settings import get new vvars. Yeah, okay, there you go, that works. Yeah, I think I'll just have that like that. I do intend for this to be the main entry point, so I'm gonna leave this as is. Because I just want to exit if the logging level is not set, and then wherever I need to inherit, I'll just create the logger, I guess. Yeah, I'll just like app dot whatever, logging dot get logger app, and I can just get logger and app dot router or app dot whatever. Or I could just reuse app, honestly. In the metadata, everything will show up, the line number and everything, so I know where it is. So I can just use the app logger everywhere. I think that's not a bad idea. Yeah, I think that's not a bad idea. Access logger, logging.get logger, app.access. Why do I have a separate access logger? This is what happens when you come back to your code after a long time, eh? Okay, so I'm just gonna be a little careful and not screw with this right now. App.add middleware. Self middleware class, middleware factory. Okay, that doesn't make much sense to me. How to use app.add middleware. Allow origins, allow credentials, allow methods, allow headers. In order they are added. The last middleware added is the outermost and runs first on the request path and last. Okay. I think I just put the function somewhere else and I do app.add middleware. I don't understand what the function arguments are. Middleware class. Okay. Cannot add middleware after an application has started. Self.user middleware. So this thing doesn't have any return. See, it returns none. Okay. I don't quite understand how app.add, because it says middleware factory, and this is not a factory that I have, unless is it? So I want to split out my middleware into a file. Middleware. Middleware function receives request, blah blah blah. Custom proprietary headers using can add code to be run with the request before any path and also after the response. Okay, that's not a problem. Which, by the way, I do want to. In fact, I'm just gonna add that to do right now before I forget. To do add logging with raw request and response. Okay, that's fine. So basically, just before I do anything, I log the request, and then I think on the outro log, I'll also log the whole result as well. I think that's not a bad idea. Middleware A, middleware B. Let me just check the reference, man. Add middleware. Wow. That is frustrating. Method middleware. Type of middleware. Currently only supports HTTP. Okay. Check the FastAPI class reference because the class has the add middle. Haha. In FastAPI, you normally do this with. Okay. So this is using the decorator. But what if instead of using the decorator, I want to do app.add middleware, which is exactly what I'm doing. Where the hell is my code? Right here. Hmm. Hmm. So this is essentially like an async function, right? Okay, let me try something and see if this continues to create issues for me. Access logging middleware. No. Let's just check. I have another problem. Okay, let's fix that. Okay, that was the issue. So this does work. But why is it complaining? Function type is not assignable. Function return type. I don't know. I do not know what is going on here. Okay, we'll come back to this later. Let's just close all that. Yes, close this. Dependencies. Let me create a new file, maybe? New folder? I'm just gonna call it routes, or is it routers? Okay, I'll just go routers. New folder, routers, new file, dunder, init, dunder.py. Okay. New file, dummy endpoints.py. The hell? Where the hell is my main? There you go. Okay. I think these three I can just move. I don't even care if they like just burn. They're not really valuable endpoints per se. Okay, so first things first. From logger equals logging dot get logger import logging app. Okay, that should fix some of the problems. And then from FastAPI import API router, and then how do you call it? Okay, yeah. Router equals API router. this. Okay. And then it's on the main page, I think it's router dot add something something. You import and create a FastAPI classes normally. Okay. I think we'll just test this out that it's working and then call it for this video. Add API route or add route? Include router. From routers import dummy endpoints. Dummy endpoints dot router. I think that should still work. Let's hit up the log test. Yep, it's working. Gives you all this nice jazz. Okay, so the routers are working, but I gotta do a much better job of this, because right now it's just a mess. I think let me think about this. Let me add a few to-dos and then we'll call it for the day. Or for this video. Or maybe not, I don't know. Add middleware. Well, okay, so to-do, I'm gonna plaster this thing with to-dos again and then spend a bunch of time doing all of them. Move middleware out. This I think I'll keep in here. This, I don't know, maybe not. Yeah, just honestly, I just want to move everything because it's just too messy right now. I already have this thing, so you know what? I actually don't need this because I already have it logged that I want to move all this out. This is bothersome. This is very bothersome. My major malfunction is like, okay, I move this out. It works if I do app.add middleware. But I don't understand. Let's try and at least figure out what's going on with why does app.add middleware take a factory? Okay, no, that's Python 2.7. That's old. To allow the middleware to be instantiated with per request arguments or configuration, this factory pattern ensures each request has its own instance of the middleware, enabling dynamic configuration. Proper handling of requests by a factory is used. Okay. Okay. I think so. There's an internal mismatch in typing in front. There isn't any middleware class used to inherit from in the built-in middleware class, so this is the more particular and better answer. I like how Cludex responded, and then he's like, I have selected this as the answer. I'm closing this. Goodbye. That's so funny. Yeah. Um, Yeah, I get the IDE warning because it's a type mismatch, and this fucking jackass Cludex is like, just tell PyCharm. It's PyCharm's problem. Bye. This is the correct answer. You all suck. And FastAPI's docs is so not helpful with this. Resources. Reference. Dependencies. Middleware. So these are the middlewares available by FastAPI directly. But what if I just want to add a custom? See, there's only a method middleware, right? Which is the decorator method. Ay caramba. Maybe it's the deck. Maybe I need to do both. Print access logging middleware. Let's see what the object is like. It's gonna be, yeah. It's just a regular function. this is really bothersome to me. Because why does the decorator, okay, let's go to the decorator. Type okay. I get this, but this is not my problem. Like, I can do that already. What about adding add app dot middleware, right? Like, I don't understand. App dot add middleware with custom middleware. Uh, hmm. Oh, this doesn't seem right either. I don't understand. Okay, so he linked a post earlier. This post as well. Let's see what this thing has to say. For ASCII call most starlet specific middleware, instead do it pretty much as you and debound using the base HTTP middleware class. Using def dispatch, response equals blah blah blah, middleware equals middleware custom header middleware. App equals starlet, routes equals routes, middleware. Net arg1 foo, net arg2 bar. Oh. Oh, okay. Well, that explains a lot. Okay. Most starlet specific middleware instead do it pretty much as you at Debounty suggested. Oh, I get it. So there's a function called dispatch, which I guess it's self-explanatory. You're dispatching. You're the middleman. You got something, and now you have to dispatch it to its correct origin, right? Like, you have to do that. Okay. Okay, so then linking back to custom middlewares. So I do actually need to do a middleware file, a middleware class or factory, I guess. I'm not sure why exactly. What is the advantage of doing it that way? But that's what it is. There must be some advantage that I am not seeing right now, or perhaps it's just a quirk of design. I don't know. I would err on the side uh, of the first because honestly, it's pretty straightforward to use. Like Starlet and FastAPI, like they're very mature things, so I think it should be fine. Okay. Is this the middleware? No, this is bigger multiplications. Middleware, yeah. Using the expression, but if you have custom headers you want to client, add them to your course configuration using the parameter expose headers. Could also use from Starlet from class. Okay. Time preference and time because it can be more precise for these use cases. Multiple middleware execution order. When you add multiple middlewares or apta, each new middleware wraps in forming a stack. Let's see if they mention this in the advanced middleware section. It's not in their reference, which is dumb. It should be part of the client reference because it's a method of the client. Or, yeah, like method of the instance of the client object or whatever you want to say. I don't fucking care. Adding ASCII middlewares as FastAPI is based on Starlet and implements middleware. Doesn't have to be made for FastAPI as long as it follows the ASCII spec. From Unicorn, import Unicorn middleware. Adding ASCII middlewares. As FastAPI is based on Starlet and implements the ASCII specification, you can use any ASCII middleware. Doesn't have to be made for FastAPI or Starlet to work as long as it follows the ASCII spec. In general, ASCII middlewares are classes that expect to receive an ASCII app as the first argument. So in documentation for third party, they'll probably tell you to do blah blah blah, new app, middleware, blah. But FastAPI actually Starlet provides a simpler way to do it that makes sure that the internal middleware handles server errors and custom exception handlers work properly. For that, you use app.add middleware. For common use, you will see how for the next example. That come directly from Starlet. ASCII middleware. I think this is the concept I'm missing the understanding of. Okay, some middleware class for adding behavior. I think this is the thing. Like, I think I need to dive a little bit into Starlet. I think FastAPI is really high level, which is nice, but yeah. Using middleware, Starlet application class allows you to include ASCII middleware in a way that ensures that it remains wrapped by the exception handler. Two pieces of middleware by default, server exception. These are the middlewares, cores middleware, session middleware, HTTPS redirect, trusted host, GSIP, base HTTP. Changes context vars from propagating upwards. That is, if you set a value for context var in your endpoint and try to read it from the middleware to find the, for example, important. This also means that if it is positioned earlier in the middleware stack, it will disrupt context vars propagation for any subsequent pure ASCII middleware that relies on them. Okay, well, that's not good, because I think I need to use context vars for trace IDs eventually. Okay, pure ASCII middleware. The ASCII spec makes it possible to implement ASCII middleware using the ASCII interface directly. It's a chain of ASCII applications that call into the next one. In fact, this is how middleware classes ship with Starlet or implement. Class def init self.app equals app async def call self scope receive and send. Self.app scope receive send. The most basic as it receives a parent ASCII application. Got it. As an argument for its constructor and implements an async call method which calls into that parent application. Okay. Using functions. Okay. Calls with scope receive and send. Scope is a dict holding information about the connection, where scope type may be type annotations. For more rigorous type painting. Yeah, I don't think I would have even picked up on this in any other situation, but yeah. And it's weird because it works even if you just pass the function. So, or actually maybe it doesn't, I don't know. I didn't actually test it, I just commented out and saw whether it is there or not. It's so weird that my face is framed like this because I'm just like, huh? What's going on? What's going on over there? It's fun. Okay. All right. I think I'm done reading. Hashtag to do implement with base HTTP middleware and move to new file. Just keep it super simple. Not gonna do jack shit. Just gonna write a simple class, name it, put this middleware in there, and put dispatch into this middleware, and that's it. Because, yeah, I think that's good enough. I think right now that's good enough. Because the goal is just to move this the fuck out of here, because this is getting on my fucking nerves. As is honestly everything else. Like, there's just too much stuff here, right? Why are the imports? Can I I can collapse imports. Thank God, I did not know that. It makes so much sense though that you can, but yeah. And I just want to move the WhatsApp endpoints to a new route. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do. I've added in my to-dos what I want to do. It's super simple. I just want to continue this refactoring process. Right now, I wouldn't mind committing, but I just kind of want to move everything around, clear everything up, make it super clean and nice, and then once it's all refactored, then I can start thinking and adding to the separate files as needed. I think number one would be, I'm just gonna start adding these to-dos here, because why not? To do, create Pydantic models for incoming webhook requests from WA. Okay, that's one. To do, push changes coming in from webhook to database. To do, trigger from webhook or from database. Decision, probably from database. Which means I need to set up a database. To do, set up database in like a proper way. I don't know what the proper way is, but in some proper way. I don't know, I'm feeling very bogged down. I think it's just like I haven't been able to build up a flow with all of this. Just family stuff, life stuff keeps happening. Um, yeah, and that's something I need to fix. Um, I think tomorrow should be better, hopefully. I'll be able to, let's just, I think I have like a basic plan outlined. And I think maybe for the database, we could just go SQLite, make it dead simple, fuck it, let it be part of the app, whatever. Or maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. I could create some simple like Postgres databases and deploy. I think I should figure out how to deploy and test it out and work all of this out locally. Just maintain that control on my local machine until as many moving pieces are working, and then deploy and then connect to those in the cloud. I think like when they're not in the cloud, it's best to do that unless something is super sensitive or something like that. Yeah. Because I think the core of it is like I get an incoming request. I need to log that, right? And not just like log it here, but like in a database. And then, I don't know, trigger through a cron, maybe? Trigger like the responses through a cron or something like that. I don't know. I'm unsure as to how I want to do that. And that's going to involve designing the schema as well, right? Because I mean, it doesn't need to be perfect, but I need to have some sort of normalization. And Siri's getting triggered. I don't know why I like with these headphones. Like these are really nice, really comfortable headphones. Except now that I'm all in on the Apple ecosystem, I'm like so irritated with them. Like, why does this not work the way I should intuitively know how it works? Because Apple's really good with design. But whatever. I think that's it for this video. What did we really accomplish here? We did some element of refactoring. We moved our logging and our environment variable stuff for our settings into this. Routers has like dummy endpoints there. Tomorrow I'm gonna move the logging middleware, the WhatsApp endpoints, and as much of this other stuff that I can to this other place. This too. I'm just gonna actually print lifespan function. Let me clear. I'm just curious as to function lifespan. It just says function lifespan. What does this async context manager do? Some async generator, dun dun. This makes this async what's body equivalent to this. Async generator context manager. It's literally a function that just calls async generator context manager. Okay. I don't even know what's a good place to put that function. But not main. I think main should be simple. That's how I feel. Uh, and actually, this could be functionized and moved into my app logging as well. So I'm just gonna to do for that to do colon functionize and move the below into app logging, because it's a this could easily be turned into a function, no problem. All of this actually, right? Because this sets it on root. It has no business being here. And once it's set up on root, I can just move on and do whatever. Access loggers are only really a part of app middleware. Alrighty, I think it's gonna take me a little time, like a day or two, to get back in the flow. Hopefully I'll be able to. I'm not gonna commit this because I don't feel comfortable committing this code. It's kind of like trashy. And I don't want to forcibly commit something just to see something in my commit history, though it is nice. I started again a couple of days ago. Let me see what they're looking like right now. It looks all right. Okay. Anyways, sorry, I got distracted with my phone. I think I'm just like tired and frustrated. I think I just need to step back, chill out a little bit, and things will be fine. You know, I think tomorrow will be a good day. Try to aim for an early start, kind of early. It's 2:20 already. I kind of want to like do a TCG live video tonight. You know what? Fuck it. I'll just show you guys. This is like a dumb thing. I like went in and I saw what all the special, like the cards that I could craft look like for the ones in my Dragapult EX deck, and I'm super excited about Duskull and Dust Noir. I hope because like getting back into gaming a little bit more than I was, because for a long while I had completely I was playing like this shitty knockoff version of Monopoly Deal on my phone still fairly regularly, but I wasn't like, I was pretty into that actually. That's not true. Except those games were short. They're like short like Pocket, and I had it pretty down, and there was some element of luck and stuff, but like, it is what it is. I didn't get nearly as into it as with Pocket, because in Pocket there's more of an investment. You're actually building the deck. Where is it? So let's say I go over here. I'm gonna hit edit deck, right? And this is what I want to show y'all. This bad boy over here. This thing. I want this so bad. And I could actually craft it right now. It's not too bad. And there's a version for Dusknoir and Dusclops as well. Like there's Dusclops and then there's one for Dusknoir. And it just, each one looks so beautiful. And like, I'm like so tempted. I'm so tempted. And there's like a bunch of really cool Dragapult EXs as well. Like there's this one. But I actually like this one better. Like this one looks cooler, I think. This one is just like, I don't know. Like this one's pretty cool too, I guess. I don't know. I just wish there was a place like the card decks that forces you to go through the I don't even know where all this stuff is, right? And I wish there was just a search my cards option. But yeah, this card deck is horrible. Like the fact that it's broken up and I can't see like a master view of like, here's all the cards you own, right? The way you can, like in Pocket, it's pretty straightforward. I have these two. There was another one here. I can't remember. I think it was a play game with a lightning thing. And I literally just started a game and conceded immediately as a Pikachu deck. I did not do it in ranked, but I just wanted the daily. And then these two, maybe I'll do a video tonight. Maybe I won't. I don't know. I'll see how I feel. But I think I need to tone down for the night because otherwise, like tomorrow is just gonna be, like, I'm gonna wake up late again and it's just gonna suck. And it's like I don't wanna be in that headspace. Like I wanna get a really good go on this. Like I think today just a lot of thinking and like same ways recently. I just need to build that flow and get it going because there's flow within a day and then there's flow across days. Like I have definitely experienced that very strongly. Yeah, I hope I'm able to get back to it soon. All right, I think that's it for this video. Take care, everyone. Didn't really accomplish too much in this video. Did some mild refactoring, figured out what was my major malfunction was that app.middleware thing. Like why is the decorator is fine with a function, but then like on the other case, you have to actually, when you add middleware, you're gonna add a class. Like what? That was so confusing to me. And then like once I realized, I'm like, I get it now. All right. I think it just has to do with the ASCII middleware spec, right? Okay, I was about to end the video, but I got another thing I want to look up. I just want to look up what the actual ASCII middleware spec is. ASCII code that plays a role of both server and application, taking in a scope and the send receive await callables, potentially modifying them, and then calling an inner application. When middleware is modifying the scope, it should make a copy of the scope object before mutating it and passing it to the inner application. The changes may leak upstream otherwise in particular. Specification details. Go to middle. Okay, no, that's exactly where I am. Flask is the HTTP supports WSGI. There's no way to have the same middleware support all three frameworks. Used under init method to I just want to understand this a little bit better. I don't know, like, this could be complete trash. Let's see. Thinking longer for a better answer. Oh, I feel like it's gonna be trash. I swear this is the last thing, and then I need to pop off. Scope dictum. Self.app equals app. Self.name equals name. Self.value equals value. Scope type not equals HTTP. Okay. Yeah. This. Okay. It's like the rabbit hole just never ends. There's like ASCII servers now. And you know what? This was fun figuring this out. I still haven't quite figured it out. I'm kind of just calling it like that. I kind of get it, and I'm moving on. But I think I've been freaking out a little too much recently about getting things out the door and moving forward. And I have to realize that this process shouldn't be rushed. I think because it's mm, making me act and think in a way that is not exactly how I want to operate, right? I don't want to be, and I know it's a common motto, move fast, break things, and all that, but I don't know. I get the feeling that that's not the right way of doing things. I feel like that can be a way that can be useful sometimes, but not right now, right? I don't have anyone I need to prove this to or any deadlines or anything. And there's an internal pressure to work. And I think that's what I need to double down on. It's just focusing on the work instead of thinking too hard about how this is all going to fit together, how quickly am I going to get this out to X person, that person. Yeah. Yeah, I think something like that could work. Um, yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's fine. All right. Peace out, guys. I'm gonna pop off from this one and talk to you guys in the next one. Hopefully, I'll be able to move faster and move forward better now that I have like things out of my head. Like I think one thing that was in my head as well that was polluting my headspace um, is Paiwa, which I decided not to go with. An explanation I made earlier, wherein like I just don't see it necessarily being supported in the super long term, and like if might as well just have it be baked in. Um, yeah, I think that's important. Anyways, so we did some refactoring. We kind of understood why the app middleware decorator can take a function, is totally fine with a function, but when you do app.add middleware, it complains at you if you don't give it a function. Um, because it's expecting a middleware factory class. Yeah. And yeah, that's really all we did in this video. Spent way too much time. That's okay, that's life, Sometimes you don't go anywhere, but you learn things, and even the process of like just turning your wheels. I believe that's an important aspect of all of this, of getting all of this going, you know? So, yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.